I know that you don't like to give them any power by even acknowledging them, but would you mind just reading some out for us, just so that we can get a handle on what sort of things were said?
Okay, yeah, let's have a look. So one of the most popular ones is always to do with my sexuality. Obviously, I'm bisexual, and on the last show I done, Love Island Games, I dated a girl and a guy, and people were like, she's such a greedy bitch. I was like, okay, like, how backwards is that? Like, what year are we in for people to define sexuality as being greedy?
Yeah.
I used to get a lot. I went on Celebs Go Dating, and that was the first time I come out as openly bisexual. They was like, she's just lying. She's doing it for fame. Just because I've been a stripper, I've been on TV, and I've been seen as like traditionally glamorous, or certain aspects of my aesthetic appeal to the male gaze. Not everything I do is for men. I'm like, oh my God, who are these men? So the greedy one always comes up, or like fake bisexual, fake gay. So pretty, you don't need all that stuff, which I assume is either the surgery, the massive fake boobies, the outfits, the hair, the lip filler. I don't know. You can interpret that how you want, but again, if it makes me feel good, dress in a certain way, look in a certain way, if I'm not hurting anyone, what's the issue, really?
Yeah. Does it make you want to go back at them and just say to them, you're just destroying your own lives by being like this?
I would love to know the psychology of it, like the deep-rooted thing of why it's affecting someone so badly, who's not a close friend to me, who doesn't run into me day to day, that my wardrobe choices or hair choices, outfit choices really affect them.
Yeah, and you say the psychology, why do you think it is that women are so judgmental of other women?
I think a lot of it comes down to I hate when people say jealousy, like I don't think it's jealousy, but I think some people feel in their social circles they would be judged harshly if they were to be as empowered and open and as liberated as me or other people they see on Love Island or on social media. So because they can't do it, they can't walk into the office in like a belt as a top like Jodie Marsh from 2001, they're angry about it. But I think, okay, obviously for work it's different, but if you want to go out on a weekend like that, do it. Like, if it makes you happy, go for it. I'm not going to tear anyone down who wants to do that. So I think it must be something from them where they feel they can't be authentically themselves to feel anger for it.
And are there any more there?
Yeah, let's see what else there are. So this refers back to Love Island Games again. Kissing him. You would sleep with him on the first night, ? Again, I feel that's such a hypocritical, like double standard for men and women. On the show I was on, one of the boys said in a game revealed he slept with like 500 women, and boys were like, oh my God, that's sick. He was a champion for that almost, at least in the villa amongst the other boys. I don't know how it was perceived on the outside. But then for me, why are people saying that I'm going to kiss someone? Like, why should a woman not sleep with someone on the first date? For me, if I dated someone and I had that connection, I'm not going to let society dictate to me when's the right time. Oh, even though I really want to sleep with this person because society says, oh, as a woman you shouldn't, I'm going to hold off for, 5-6 dates to prove something to who? This is my one time on earth. If I've got that vibe with someone, he's there and he's like 6'6" with a six-pack, best believe I'm sleeping with him whenever I want. Like, there is no time limit because Karen told me to.
Oh, I love it. And do you think it's the same with all the plastic surgery? Because I know we've talked about your ears being pinned back. What else have you had done?
So I had my ears pinned back. That was the first thing when I was super young. And that really was just to avoid bullying. It wasn't something that I'd wanted my whole life. It wasn't until obviously other kids brought it to my attention how bad they were. I was fine minding my own business thinking like, I'm fine. So that was, I guess that surgery was for someone else. But all the rest, I wanted my nose done, a boob job. That was all for me, something that no one would really tease me about. No one ever picked on my nose or the size of my breast, but I was like, I want it for me. So
what did you have done to your nose, if you don't mind me asking?
Just like taken down a little bit. So I have a very strong nose naturally, like my dad. And I was like, I've got big eyes, big lips. Like, it just seemed out of proportion to me. And I always wanted bigger boobs, which I guess was for more myself, but also the line of work I was in.
Yeah.
And then lip filler and veneers. And like Botox and stuff, obviously. She's approaching 30, so just need to keep them wrinkles at bay.
And do you get a lot of trolling, do you think, for the surgery? Do you?
I think so, but I think where people are behind their keyboards, it gives them this confidence and this power that they don't have day to day. So they feel empowered by getting their little 2 pence in, but really don't know how that's going to affect someone at home.
Well, I was going to say to you, like, does it ever make you doubt yourself? Have there ever been times where, you know, if they've made a comment about your looks, your lips or whatever, where you've gone, oh no, have I?
No, I think I'm quite self-aware. Like, obviously I know my look's not for everyone. I'm very like into like 90s, girls of the Playboy Mansion, big hair. I'm just an Essex girl at heart. And I like being glamorous. Like there's days where I'll just wear a tracksuit and like no makeup and I'll go out the house like that and be a proper tomboy. But if I get dressed up, I want to look cute. So I get that's not for everyone, but I think each to their own.
I think I read that you've had like threats on your life.
Yeah, I think when I first came out of Love Island, people were really mad about, I think it wasn't just my looks. I think it was the way I conducted myself. I was unapologetic. I went for what I wanted. At the end of the day, Love Island is a game. So I think because I not played it like a game, but because I went for what I wanted, I didn't have loyalty to the girls. And I think people didn't like that aspect of me more than the physical looks side. So I think that's why I got the death threats.
Back to the surgery, I forgot to ask you, you said you were done with surgery in, I think, 2022. Are you done?
I feel like constantly we're evolving, we're ages, fashions change. I'm 30. I think right now I'm the best I've ever felt mentally and physically. But of course, I want to have babies one day. I want to breastfeed them, so I'm sure my boobs will need redoing after that. I don't know. I think never say never. But I think there's a fine line by thinking the outside shell, the physical shell, can fix the inside happiness. And I think you could be dripping in Chanel. You could have the most perfect little button nose, the massivest boobs, the tiniest waist. For you to love yourself, that's so much deeper than what you see back in the mirror. It's who your support network is, what you're doing for work. Do you know what I mean? It's all these outside factors as opposed to just look. So I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah, so do you think because you're pretty and because you've got your boobs and you look amazing, do you think then society really doesn't like it if you see something and you go get it? Do you think that makes it harder?
Maybe. I don't know if it's about going to get what you want as a woman, being pretty, but I think people do think, oh, what have you got to complain about? Loads of people would want to look like you. And that, for me, even before I was on TV, because like I said, I had like quite a big following on Instagram, I would get loads of compliments all the time, but that doesn't change someone's mental health. Just because they look pretty on the outside, you don't know what they're going through. It's very judgmental, I think, to say, oh, well, you're pretty, you don't know what it's like.
Have you ever struggled with your mental health since going on the show?
Not since going. It's something for me I've always battled with on and off. I think there is no one size fits all with mental health. I don't think there's one day that you should just click a switch, you're not happy for the rest of your life. It could be, like I said, a whole plethora of things that could affect my mental health. So I think it's a constant like uphill battle. I think as well as a society, we always put happiness on a pedestal and it's never really attainable for a long period of time. Life is ups and downs. But before I was on Love Island, I did really struggle with feeling guilty because I knew compared to my other friends, I was earning a lot of money. I was getting so many compliments on the way I looked and I had a modelling career. So it's like, what have I got to be unhappy about? I've had no really bad like childhood trauma or I'm not really deserving.
You were bullied though, quite severely for being a child, really.
I guess so. I never really thought about it like that. But I think compared to some people who have had horrific things gone on growing up, I've never had that. So I kind of felt guilty for being depressed. But I think as you get older, and now especially mental health is spoken about so much more openly and it's a less taboo topic, it's made it so much easier. And I hope for other girls or guys feeling the way I felt at 16, 17, that it's okay to feel depressed. You don't need something detrimental to have happened to you to feel a bit down.
So would you say if somebody wanted to get a filler and they're like 18, would you say go for it? Or would you say, are you okay though first?
Yeah, I would say really think about it, research where you're going to get it. But if it's for you and solely for you, then do what makes you happy. You're on this planet once. If it's going to make you happy, and 6 months from now when you grow up a bit, you think, oh geez, them lips are a bit too much. You can get them dissolved. Like, it's not the end of the world, but just don't think it's all encompassing. The way you look on the outside isn't going to affect how you feel when you're going to bed at night. No matter how many likes you get on Instagram, that's not going to change how you feel when you're all by yourself and you're like waking up in the morning thinking, oh, okay, do I feel happy? Like, that's all outside validation that you don't need.
So if you're feeling a little bit down or you're not feeling on top of the world, which you seem like you're quite happy, but I know you said you have moments where you have dips, what do you do to bring yourself back up again?
I think family and friends is such a good one for me. Like, I surround myself with really positive people who inspire me, who I can really like feed off of their energy and their positivity.
Are you happy now?
Yeah, I would say, I think with age, you do get more self-assured. I think early teens is a real tricky age for everyone. You're just navigating, your hormones are wild, you're like, oh my God. But yeah, I would say inside and outside, it's the happiest I have been. And I think with age, we all put age down. We're like, oh my God, I don't want to get older. But honestly, every year I get more confident. I don't know about you,
yeah,
but
it's nice. It's kind of nice. Stop caring.
Yeah.
So my last question is beauty. Beauty is skin deep, true or false?
I would say, I hate to be one to sit on the fence, 50-50. It helps. It helps to be, when you look in the mirror, to like what you see, of course. Everyone wants that. But it doesn't fix everything. So I think you have to tackle it both ways. Same as you would go into the gym, I guess, or with your mental health. You can't just go to a therapist once and think, oh, I'm fixed now. It's a long thing. You have to work on yourself, how you would train your body in the gym to look a certain way. You've got to train your mind that way to love yourself as well. So I think it's both.